Hi, I'm Jack from Veterinary IT Services, and this week I'm going to talk to you about the ultimate secret of keeping your practice data safe. It only takes one click from a well-meaning member of your team on one bad link, and that could mean the difference between a thriving practice and disruption so severe it makes trading impossible. Now, you don't need us to tell you that data loss can lead to a huge loss of confidence from your clients, and often the cost of rectifying a situation such as this can be phenomenal. So, we want to share the secret behind keeping your practice data safe. Let's start with cybersecurity training. Though it may sound simple, you'd be surprised to learn how many practices underestimate the importance of company-wide security awareness. Your whole practice, from the new veterinary nurse to the practice manager or owner, should take part in formal data security training regularly. A strong cybersecurity culture is one of the best ways to keep your practice safe from the increasingly sophisticated threats out there. Now, there are quite a number of common objections, such as, but my people are savvy professionals, they're not going to fall for a scam. Well, we hear this so often, and yes, I'm sure your people are savvy, but so are cyber criminals. Cybercrime is evolving, and there's always another scammer or hacker around the corner waiting to take advantage of a technology flaw or stressful situation. Hello, global pandemic, vet shortages, and increased pet ownership. Your team can never be too prepared, so I'm going to talk you through some of the most common scams so you know what you and your team are up against. Let's start with phishing. Now, phishing, you've heard of that, right? But do your team actually know what it is? Phishing is a common tool used to extract information such as login credentials or credit card details by email, telephone, or even text message. Today, phishing emails are increasingly convincing. They often claim to come from someone credible, such as your bank, a client, or even a member of your own team. They'll ask you to click on a link to update your details or change your password, but instead of being taken to a legitimate website, you'll be taken to a very convincing duplicate. Other times you're sent an attachment, again seemingly from someone you know, which when opened will install malware on your device or across your whole entire network. Next up, we have spearfishing. So spearfishing, instead of phishing which is aimed at anyone, this is targeted at a specific individual. Specifically, the attacker has spent time learning a lot of information about you, your name, role, practice information, anything similar, and then uses this to their advantage. If they target someone at the top, this is called whaling, also known as CEO fraud. Whaling attacks are often planned for a long period of time, and when they work, they give huge financial gain to the cyber criminals. Next up, we have farming. Well, farming asks you to take an action on what looks like a familiar website, except if you look carefully, the website address is slightly different to normal. It's a scam site, and any information you enter will go to the criminals. There's a scarier version of farming where the criminals manage to divert traffic going to a real website. These are really, really hard to detect. But often there are tiny little clues that give the fake sites away. If you know what to look for, then you'll be able to get it. Spoofing's next, and this is the term for when you receive an email pretending to be from someone you know, such as your accounts department, and it's asking you to go to a link to reconfirm your details or do something specific. This type of scam is often used to download malware or ransomware rather than to steal your credentials, but can also include transferring monies to a separate bank account to help someone out, for example. Then we have smishing, which is phishing with text messages, SMS, and vishing, which is phishing on the phone or voice phishing. You receive a phone call from a blocked or unusual number. The caller will pretend to be from somewhere familiar and ask you to carry out actions or make a payment. These are pretty common, so if you or your team are ever unsure, make sure to hang up and then call the company back on the number you have for them, and never the number the caller gives you. So knowing this, can your practice afford to underestimate the importance of cybersecurity training? This is not an exhaustive list. There are plenty of other ways that cyber criminals will attack your practice. You may think your people are pretty hot on cybersecurity, and hopefully you've got the latest security software protection against your whole network. If you've never implemented security training before, now is the perfect time to start creating new habits. After all, your team will have seen enough change this year to be open to just about anything. Employee education is one of the best business tools you can invest in. and it could end up saving your veterinary practice from disaster. Remember to make sure that everyone from bottom to top undertakes regular training, because a cybercriminal really isn't fussy about who clicks that link, just as long as someone does. Thanks for watching. If you want to know more, check out our full blog, The Ultimate Secret to Keeping Your Practice Data Safe. Don't forget to subscribe, but also check out our blog for up-to-date tips and tricks.